The irony lies in the fact that Spence demonstrated superior technique when delivering power punches against Crawford compared to how he executed them against Ugaz. During the Ugaz fight, Spence resorted to a lot more reaching and lunging, as well as shifting forward, turning orthodox based on momentum momentarily, a riskier approach that would have made him an easier target for counters if he had employed it against Crawford, as even Ugaz found some success in those moments. But eventually the flat-footed high guard that Ugaz chose to utilize gave away the fight to Spence. Team Crawford knew better. Timing the jab can consist of recognizing repetitive footwork rhythms. A lot of fighters have slower rhythmic steps as opposed to staying stationary. Both Spence and Crawford have these rhythms. Typically, a fighter with the back and forth rhythm will be vulnerable on the front step. Timing the jab typically means timing that front step. However, at the level of an undisputed fight between two pound-for-pound fighters, this concept should be overstood. Crawford knows how to time a jab, and he knows that Spence is waiting on that front foot to time him with the jab. So as soon as Crawford took that step on the front foot, he was ready to defend. Due to the understanding of timing and rhythms, high-level fighters use jab feints. Feints work to mask the intentions of committing to the jab on those rhythms and show your opponent's hand and force the defensive maneuver they'll use to block the jab. Pre-fight, we suggested the lack of jab feints from Arrow should be a major issue. For one, it made defending the jab much easier for Crawford. Crawford used blocks, catches, parries, pulls, reverse shuffles, full step backs, then eventually half step backs and a cross guard to virtually take away Arrow's jab. We wondered pre-fight how Crawford would respond to his first southpaw with a good volume jab. The lack of jab feints made it so Crawford didn't have to guess when Arrow would actually strike with the jab. In turn, we saw mastery of a more rare wrinkle in Crawford's game, which was the catch and counter jab. Crawford would simply jab with Arrow on that same timing rhythm while simultaneously catching or parrying Arrow's jab, and it worked to perfection. Crawford has never lacked the boxing mind to know that feints are a necessity at the highest level. Unlike Spence, Crawford had tremendous success with the jab. Before the fight, fans would mistakenly talk about the better jab, citing the more consistent use of Arrow's jab. Perhaps Arrow has the better power jab specifically. However, the jab has a myriad of variations in which Crawford clearly has the better mastery. CompuBox, although severely flawed, had Crawford landing a ridiculous 42% of his jabs throughout the fight. This is even after crediting Crawford for only one jab in round 1, which was laughable. If you rewind it, I showed 6 in this highlight package alone in the first round. Not only does Crawford have more variations of the jab, he also varies the way he delivers the jab, often breaking from that normal jab rhythm explained at the beginning of the video. What fight fans should have taken away from the jab battle was the difference between a good jab and a great lead hand. The jab was the X factor and ended up ultimately being the biggest reason for the non-competitive demolition. It wasn't weight, it wasn't brain damage, it wasn't marijuana or alcohol or injury or any other ridiculous excuse. It was boxing skill and ability. Errol virtually always uses a repetitive jab to initiate offense. Take Errol's jab away and he looks unrecognizable.